Ladies and gentlemen, I'll put the link below. This is an NBC News article from January. Under the new House rules passed on Monday in January, only one member of Congress is needed to bring a motion to vacate, which forces a vote to remove the Speaker. That would need only a simple majority in the House to pass to oust McCarthy. Okay, that was in January. Now you have yesterday, Gates passing debt deal without Republican majority would likely begin an immediate motion to oust McCarthy. I'll be doing a lot of work on this, a lot of videos on this, because it's very, very interesting. And starting tomorrow, I'll get back to the usual schedule of 4 to 5 videos a day on this channel. And also, I'll do some other work on H.A. Goodman's other channel, the Stock Market Crash channel. But this is a really big deal. The reason President Trump backed McCarthy is because McCarthy will impeach, along with Republicans, mashed potato brains. That will happen. The economy is heading towards a recession. We have a never-ending military quagmire in Europe. We're 90 seconds to midnight, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, because of the Biden administration's foreign policy. It's not a coincidence. There's a reason that country was invaded under the watch of Democrats in the Oval Office. What do you think that reason is? There's a reason it didn't happen under Trump. Okay? Trump's foreign policy is one of negotiate first, prevent endless military quagmires. Democrats adhere to what alliances want and what our allies want and what the establishment wants and the current paradigm of foreign policy wants. Anything but ending never-ending military conflict. That is not what the Democratic Party stands for. That is what Trump stands for, even though he's mean on Twitter. So it was always a moral imperative to have voted for Trump. We didn't have all of these problems with Trump. And his last year in office, the real issue, the real dilemma that we faced was not you-know-what. It was our apoplectic response to you-know-what, led by, let's say, bureaucrats, a fabricated consensus, Twitter. We can go on forever. Democratic governors tanking their state economies. Democratic governors shutting down state economies, and Democrats would do it again in a moment's notice if they were told to by authority or bureaucrats that they respect. All they need to do something foolish and counterproductive is somebody in a position of authority to tell them to do so, and then they're off to the races. Okay? There used to be an emphasis on the individual in America. Now there's an emphasis on a fabricated, contrived, coerced consensus. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. You're going to have a situation when the House passes, even if a majority Republican. I don't know how you could. You might get a majority Republican. Actually, no, you won't, because you have a number of Republicans that will not back the debt ceiling, the debt deal. Nancy Mace said the debt ceiling, according to Fox News, doesn't actually set a debt limit and instead suspends the debt limit entirely. Now, Biden has added $3.5 trillion to the debt. It has not increased economic activity, or I should say, it hasn't benefited the economy. The economy is not in good shape. We still have 5 to 9% inflation. Actually, they say it's less than around 5%. It's more than that. Ask yourself about food prices, energy, especially in blue states, and also rent. Rent has gone up far more than 5%. The things that you need to live in the United States of America, buying eggs, bread, groceries, food inflation has gone up. And so you have a problem with debt. Now, when they made a big issue with Trump's tax cuts, which, by the way, Democrats kept when they took over the Oval Office, they made the issue, they said it's going to add to the debt, but it grew the economy. We had record low poverty with Trump. The tax cuts worked to grow the economy, to help everybody. They spun it. Oh, well, the billionaire class, the billionaire class. Bernie Sanders, I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. I used to be the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I can tell you he was probably a very good human being with his family and a good person, but it's a racket. It is a charade. If Bernie Sanders cared about the working class, he would acknowledge that we had real wages up under Trump with tax cuts. Real wages were up. We had household median incomes at record highs. We had record low in poverty. There is zero rebuttal from anyone on the left. I was on the left my whole life up until like about five years ago. And I understand the mentality, okay? It's like a religion on the left. But their religion is based on this very twisted morality that, well, we have to help people. We have to help people who are impoverished. Okay, why do you keep them in poverty, though, with democratic policies? Shutting down economic activity immediately. Almost all economic activity in blue states, because you were told to do so. So governors did that. They didn't have to do that. That was a foolish and terrible response to a serious issue. But anyway, then they said, well, we're the good people. We're going to send stimulus checks. And then you have AOC, eviction moratorium. You prevented people from working. What are you going to do now? Of course you're going to give. So when they say, well, Trump added to the debt. No, he didn't. Not his policies. It was the policies of the Democratic Party. Media was essential in all of this. CNN had a counter. Look, the debt is, in the past 3-4 years, has gone up $6 trillion. About $7 trillion. Okay? The McCarthy is probably not doing enough to address this issue from a conservative perspective. Okay, I'm not conservative on everything. I'm conservative on, I'd say, most things now. I do believe that you need to spur and begin economic growth. You don't. The Pandora's box was opened when you shut down economic activity. That is the situation we still haven't really felt the economic repercussions. We're going to head towards more bank runs and a stock market crash, I believe. I've been predicting a stock market crash since 21, and I predicted the 2022 downturn, really crash in the market. But I think there's going to be a major, major crash, unfortunately. And it's because of Democratic Party policies. It's okay. I think a social safety net is important. But when you don't focus on economic growth, which is what Trump focused on, you could say, well, Biden had economic growth. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. The economy was allowed to function. Big deal. The economy was allowed to function because the most populous states run by Democratic governors actually allowed their economies to run. See, nobody looks at the bird's eye view. Nobody looks at the aggregate, which is why you should subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe to my members. Thank you. We are going to ramp up this channel. A lot of great things, thank God, have been happening. A lot of great things, thank God, for me. But starting June, we're going to get back to the usual, so I mean, like tomorrow, 9 a.m., we'll have a segment. So be here at 9 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. Very important segment. McCarthy is going to face the same type of battle that he faced in January or December, sorry. They're going to have to, this is actually going to make him impeach mashed potato brain sooner rather than later. That is why Trump backed McCarthy. Trump did not back McCarthy because of things like this. Now, the debt limit issue, the average Republican's going to say, well, it has to get done. I mean, we can't default. That's true, we can't default. But you should probably make sure there's an emphasis on limiting the amount of debt. The same liberal or progressive or far left channels or pundits, a lot of them who are championing the Democratic Party make bank. And they don't have a lot of debt because they make bank, but they don't mind the country. drowning in debt. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel